going on, you crazy dudes? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I need the bye week more than anybody. If you want to join the conversation, let me know. Because put your stuff in the comments. We'll put you up here. We'll send you the link. We're gonna talk Eagles, Giants, because I'm damn sick of the radio doing nothing but talk about AJ Brown. So we're gonna talk about Eagles, Giants, and how they looked, how the offense looks. Do my best impersonation of trying to do X's and O's. Eagles, Giants. We got our trip coming up to Green Bay. We're gonna take off from the stream next week with the bye week, and then so be on the lookout for our trip to Green Bay. And then after that trip, we'll be back that Tuesday because it's Monday Night Football. So it'll be a quick turnaround. We might actually even get delayed to what you call it? We might even get delayed to Wednesday after that Monday Night Showdown. So Eagles, Giants. I have a question for you guys in the comments. Leave me in the comments. Besides McDonald's, because shout out to McDonald's for doing the partnership with us this season. Besides McDonald's, what's your? Because McDonald's is like the OG. If you watch that movie, The Founder, in the comments, besides McDonald's, what's your favorite fast food joint? Can be anything. Just yoink some. Wow, I got Wawa on. That might be mine. My second. Eagles, Giants, the playoff picture, the gauntlet ahead. Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Bears. Let's talk about how the Cowboys look. Let's talk about how the Commanders looked last night. Let's talk about the Tush push. Let's talk about Saquon. Let's talk about Tank Bigsby. Let's talk about anything but AJ Brown, because anytime a caller would call in and say, yo, they're not going to take a $50 million cap hit or a $90 million cap hit, there's like, oh, that's not going to stop them. The cap hit's not going to stop them from trading AJ Brown. It's not going to stop them. It didn't stop, when the Broncos wanted to get rid of Russell Wilson. It didn't stop when the Eagles wanted to get rid of Carson Wentz. Guess what? Both those teams had quarterbacks that could ball on rookie deals. You don't take a $50 million cap hit for the number 1 best wide receiver in the league. You lose. Good day, sir. You lose not only the number 1 wide receiver on your team, your wide receiver 1, you lose the wide receiver 1 in the NFL, and you lose $90 million. It's not going to happen. And I don't know. It got worse. Like, I posted a video when I was in Miami that the Eagles, he's got a hamstring injury and they have the bye. They're either giving him extra rest or they really are considering trading him. But I was saying that tongue in cheek, and I posted about it one time. 2 days after the Eagles Giants game, all day Monday, the morning show, the midday show, the afternoon show, all day today, Tuesday. Every show, every segment, they didn't have any other segments or anything. I don't get it. Is the controversy really keeping that many people listening and that many people calling in? I don't understand the point. It doesn't make any sense. A $50 million cap hit. And they're like, oh, they'll figure it out. The dead cap doesn't matter. That's not what's going to hold them back. It's just brutal. It's brutal conversation. The team's 6-2. If you want to talk about his like role on the team and how the offense looked better because they just threw it to the open man and they let the system play itself out instead of forcing targets to one guy. And they say it all the time. The offense runs through AJ, Smitty, and Dallas Goedert. Well, if with AJ Brown on the team, they're really saying, okay, we have to get at least 8 targets to this guy and at least 4 targets to Dallas Goedert and at least 22 touches. If they're game planning that way and trying to, divide the snaps up to get the ball in certain playmakers' hands, we now know that that's not effective. And what is effective is letting the game come to you and hitting the open receiver, because that was the best I've ever seen the Eagles offense in 3 years. When they had Shane Steichen in 2022 and they were throwing the ball all over the place, and that was probably Jalen Hurts' best statistical passing season. Plus last year when they really couldn't throw, but they were the best running team I've ever seen in the history of the Eagles. This week was the passing from 2022 and the running from last year. I mean, it was the best. They did everything. They had extra linemen in. They were under center. They ran the ball outside instead of between the tackles. That was that signature run, that run where they go outside. How many times did they break that run last year? Saquon, second play of the game. Boom. Bigsby, after a huge sack, 37-yard run for a first down. Throwing the ball deep to Jahan Dotson was the best I've ever seen the offense look in years. Not this year, not last year when all they could do is run the ball and they couldn't pass that well. We're not talking about last year. We're not talking about the team I know and love, the team being 6-2. They're freaking talking about AJ Brown is what the conversation wants to be steered to. And I understand the hatred for the Cowboys, but in my senior year in high school and my sophomore year in college, I had to watch the Giants win 2 Super Bowls. And at that point, after the McNabb run, and, even that McNabb team in like 2009 when they lost to the Arizona Cardinals, who went on to the Super Bowl against the Steelers. I had to watch the Giants team win 2 Super Bowls, and I didn't think the Eagles would ever win a one. And now we've won 2 Super Bowls, and I hate the Giants. I get the Cowboys hatred. I get the 90s. I get it. But of recent history, I would say the Giants were closer in history to a threat of the Eagles in the Eli Manning years than the Cowboys ever were. Because the Cowboys then and now got 0 chance. Absolutely 0 chance. There's not one team in the division now that has more than 3 wins. I mean, Jaden Daniels can't get on the field. The Cowboys got blown out by the Broncos. Eagles are 6-2. We have a gauntlet coming up. That's Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Bears. Like, if you win both of the games against the Lions and Packers, you are in the driver's seat for the 1 seed. If you split in those games, you're like still probably have a chance at one of the first or second seeds going into the final week of the season. And that's what we have coming up. And that's what we have at stake, being 6-2 in going into the bye. And they want to talk about AJ Brown and taking a $90 million cap hit. Like they're going to get something like a defensive player. They're going to get some pick that makes them better or does anything. Shut up. I hate the Giants. We just beat the piss out of them. And by the way, I was one of the people that I don't like him. He's like one of those guys that you're going to hate for a while because he's going to be good and he's going to be hard-nosed and he's going to get in your face. And I'm talking about Cam Scatterbo. That's going to be a guy that you're going to be like, I hate that guy. I was probably one of the first people up off my chair giving that guy a standing ovation. And classy move by Big Dom, probably bringing him some Angelo's pizza and cheesesteaks. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Philly fans giving him a standing ovation and Big Dom putting the sirens on, stopping traffic to bring freaking Angelo's hoagies. I want to talk about freaking Dave-O on the sideline with Pete Davidson and courtside at the 3-0 Sixers, and VJ Edgecombe is better than both them Rutgers kids. He's better than Cooper, whatever. We almost called him Cooper Rush. Whoever that kid is who went number 1 overall. Sixers got the best player in the draft. The Eagles are 6-2. They're in the driver's seat in a week. Not weak, but it's anybody's game. Let's be real now. And they want to talk about AJ Brown Mania. What's up? We got great cousin Cooper Flag. I almost called him Cooper Cup, Cooper Rush. This is a bum ass. He had like 4 points, and VJ come had like 40 in his first game. Cooper Cup. Someone asked me about Dallas guy. You think he gets a big? He can't stay on the field. You got what you call it. I don't even know if he got it. Zach Ertz needed 2 catches last night to hit 800 catches. He looks like he's in the prime of his career. Dallas got it. He's injury prone, and to be honest, he should be more pissed than AJ Brown because he's the guy that's gonna. When the contract's up, and if they draft a young kid, and he's going to be the guy that's not locked up long term. That's going to be out looking for money from another team. And he's the one that wants to put up the yards and the catches and the yak. AJ Brown's paid for 5 years, and he's on a good team. I can't say it on here, but. And we all know this and speculate this, but something happened with Jalen, and that's everything. And it sucks that they can't make it up. Because I've had some friends, and we done some stuff to each other, and the boys I grew up with are the boys that I'm still riding with now. And we dated the same girls. We did some messed up stuff. We left each other at parties and left people high and dry, left for dead. We left them without a wallet, bone dry, on a bachelor party in a club with vulture women. And you know what? We came to our senses and we said, dude, F the outside noise, F the media, F the you know what, and we made it up. Now these guys are making millions of dollars, and this is what we got to sit here and talk about. It's wild. Well, I'm going to move on to the tailgate. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit of story from the tailgate. So I went to Miami for a bachelor party. Hopefully the old lady's not watching because, oh man, did we have a weekend. And the quickest way for me to get back and still be able to go to the Eagles game and not wake up there Sunday morning or Monday and miss the game and do whatever would be to like around midnight to Saturday night, head to the airport, check in, do your thing, chill for a couple minutes, take a 5A, 6A flight back to Philly, and then I'll be there 9, 10 o'clock, either go home, watch the game, or go to the game. So we got tickets for everybody, the whole family. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm passing over the stadium. I see all the people tailgating already. And the flight can't land. They can't get the landing gear out. The computer's down. They got to wait for clearance on the runway. I see we're flying around in circles. I see 2 other planes flying head on to land towards me. And they tell me they can't get the communication or get the computers in sync to get the equipment out to land, whether it's the plane or back at the airport. I'm up there spinning in the air, circle, circle, circle. And I'm just trying to get off this dang plane because the airport's right next to the complexes. I'm like, damn, I'm going to land 9 o'clock and then go meet up with my family, go to the tailgate. And I stood up there for an extra 40 minutes. Thought I was going to die. I thought that was it. Like, that was it. Instead, I landed, seen the 4th and John boys, go to the Philly sports trip tailgate, and they put on a ridiculous breakfast spread. My pops is having breakfast. Beautiful. Talked to Hollis. I was talking to him about, Miami nightlife and all the craziness. We go to our boys, Hungry Dogs. We see everybody. We hit all the tailgates. The Eagles blow out the Giants. It was a glorious day. A glorious day. The Eagles are 6-2. And we're on the Green Bay for like pretty much all the marbles. And all of these people want to talk about is controversy. And then when they took a break from talking about A.J. Brown controversy, they talk about Bryce Harper getting traded. Like, they're just fishing. But by like the 5th day, it's like the boy who cried wolf. And anytime someone would call in talking about dead cap or whatever, they would just immediately shut it down because it would ruin their narrative. But anyway, we can't wait for our trip to Green Bay, man. And the Philly Sports Trips tailgate too. You like hosted tailgates. Let me tell you. Full bar. 4 walls, garage beer, everything. Breakfast. Then they transition over to lunch. I'll smack fire out your ass. That's right. Ain't gonna do anything. Probably a Cowboys fan. Go on to Twitch. Cowboys fans on here. Cowboys stink. You had your chance. Number 1 offense. You got reject Jonathan Gannon's. This is where Jonathan Gannon learned how to call defenses, was from Matt Eberflus. That was like his protege. And the Cowboys have the worst defense in the league. And they have the number one offense. In a year where staying close to us in the division is possible because of the strength of the schedule and just the other teams being in the mix with the wild card. A year where it's possible, they can't even get a competent defensive coordinator. And not only they don't have a competent defensive coordinator, they traded away their best player. And then they brought back their other best player too soon. He's hurt again. He's on IR. And the guy that they shipped away is still talking crap. Micah Parsons is still talking crap on Jerry Jones. Brought back Trevon Diggs too early from the knee injury. Now he hurt something else, putting too much weight somewhere else on the body. And he's done. Grim Reaper TV. Who do you like, brother? I thought you were a Cowboy fan. We all about the birds, baby. And man, could I use the bye week? I'm starting to get sick. Traveling, all these games over and over and over again. Tough life. Tough life for me, for sure. Getting no sympathy from any of y'all. The birds win. Giants and Cowboys. Season is over. And the Commanders are right behind them. And you don't hear anybody talking drama on the Ravens. They got like 2 wins and don't have a quarterback. And the Chiefs, they're getting everybody back. But before that, when everybody's banged up and they didn't look that great, man, I'd say the media is tough against the Eagles. I really do. We should be having fun. We should be puffing our chest out. If you want to beat the Packers and beat the Lions and have a shot, and this year after the Super Bowl, this is like found money this year, a year right after winning the Super Bowl. You're like playing with house money because next year you have tons of cap space and all kinds of draft picks. It almost seemed like they were playing for 2026, but they have an opportunity this year to go back to back. And they have another opportunity in 2026 to be really, really good again. That's why I don't buy this nonsense with they're going to eat some type of dead cat. Because this team last year, this year, next year is going to be in the thick of it going towards the end. And this is the thick of this season's schedule right now. It's the Green Bay Packers who have 1 loss. Okay. And they're going to play the Carolina Panthers and they're probably going to win. And they're going to be hosting us in Lambeau and they're going to be the favorite, probably by only a point or 2, which is going to make for a pick 'em. And then we get the Lions at home. And you're getting Nolan Smith back. You got BG back. Jalix Hunt looks good all of a sudden. Uche looks like he's doing some nice things all of a sudden. You know, you could put Jihad to rush the passer. They could develop him there a little bit. They've got time because they've got other guys who could play in the meantime. Since N'Kobe's come back at linebacker, the defense is tackling. They're tight. The offense is hitting the open guy. Where else? The grass ain't always greener. Where else would you rather be and where else would you want to go than to be playing on this Philadelphia Eagles team this year with a shot? That's all you can ever ask for. Give me a shot. And I appreciate you guys. If you want to go to filthyandphilly.com/shop, no tax, no fees, free shipping on everything. In honor of the Eagles winning. Shout out to our friends at Ponley Hockey and our friends at the Hungry Dog Tailgate for putting on. And if y'all know anybody in the comments too, we have somebody for the Bears Black Friday game, but I need a videographer for the Lions Sunday night game because I owe it to y'all to get some. We post stupid stuff we see throughout the day when we're at the tailgate, but I owe it to y'all to really encapsulate the walk from FDR Park to Wells Fargo lot to K to M to N all the way around. I owe it all. I owe it to everybody out there that's been following the page for years. The whole trek we do. We talk about it every single week. I don't think anyone's seen the full map that we do. We walk. We walk, man. We hit everywhere. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, if you miss any of tonight's live stream, we hit it all. From the Eagles and Giants dominant performance, finally getting the run game going. How about Brett Koff setting the tone? Talked about Cam, classy move by Big Dom. Talked about everybody else around the league. But another thing I want to touch on a little bit before we do meme of the week and get out of here. The Tush Push controversy strikes again. Jalen Hurts looks like he fumbles on the play, but they mark him down forward progress first down, which he's got the ball out like a loaf of bread. If that was any other team and it was us and we smacked the ball out of his hand, I'd be furious. The Eagles did get some calls early on. I'll give them that. Cam scores a touchdown. It's 7-7, and we get that tush push call. And then the Eagles really started rolling. So it could have been tight, but it wasn't. Even with that stuff, it still would have been a blowout. And I would talk about that more than I would talk about the wide receiver mania because, man, that play is as good as gone. And it's getting worse and worse. The more Fox games they have with 50 cameras and the more calls we get and the more false starts we get, it gets worse and worse. I hope it doesn't come to a head when it's ice cold in Green Bay and it's a gotta have it 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 because damn, we're going to need it. We're going to need it for one more week playing against 2 more weeks, actually. Playing against 2 grizzly teams in the Packers and the Lions. They're run the ball, time of possession type gritty teams. I'm beyond excited. Private charter, Todd Harriman is coming. I think Hollis is coming. Lambeau Field tour. And their home tailgates in Philly are also amazing. If you haven't done it yet, go to phillysportstrips.com. You won't be disappointed. It's well worth it. Your transfers to and from the airport to the hotel. So your rides there when you land and when you need to get back to your plane, they'll make sure you get there and you get out and you don't miss your flight. Game tickets at a lower level upgrade for $200 sitting in the lower bowl with everybody we're traveling with is going to be unfreaking believable. phillysportstrips.com. Oh boy. Trip to Miami killed me. It dang killed me. We luckily we had our friends' cousins with us, so we did golf, we went to dinner. Um the one night we just like stayed and played beer pong and stuff like that. The one night we watched Thursday night football. Man, Carson Wentz stinks. He's out for the year. But Miami, luckily we only like did like probably two things where they hung back and they couldn't go, where we did like clubby type stuff. And man, it's crazy down there. I'm glad I made it back, and I'm glad the Eagles got a bye because much needed rest before we hit Green Bay, and then we got a gauntlet home with the Lions and Bears. It's going to be beautiful. You thinking we see any movement from Howie before the deadline? And ask me anything, by the way. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of teams with like 5, 6 wins, but there's going to be just as many teams with like 3 wins looking to move some people. And we talked about it a little bit last week. I don't think getting like a cornerback 2 really helps you. I think if you're not going to get like an elite corner. So if you just get a kind of mid corner, they're still going to pick on him. Really, where you can have the most success on defense will be getting Jihad up to speed and seeing if you can rush the quarterback now that you have Dean and Bond playing linebacker, locking it down, getting BG ready, getting the pass rush ready, and they may be able to get somebody. They may be able to get another tackle to have a little bit of depth behind Jalen Carter and Moro Jomo and those boys after losing Milton Williams through free agency. They could use another guy in the middle and an end. A big boy that could play edge. They don't need like an outside linebacker. They don't need like a stand-up rusher. They need somebody on the line, physical, that can rotate in. Get some pass rush. Yeah. I mean, unless you can get like, they're not going to give him to you. Unless you can get like a Sauce Gardner from the Jets. I mean, you're not going to get a CB1. So if you get a mid guy, like you may be better off just playing with, Jacorian Bennett or a Dory or a Keeley, or what have you. I really think the keys to the secondary is letting Reed and Makuba play. Some of their backup safeties, like an Epps or like a Sidney Brown, may be able to man like the slot, and then you could have Coop play outside if you really got desperate. They like Coop in the slot. They like moving him around, but you have 2 of the best corners in the league with Coop and Quinion. So, hi from Brazil? Hell yeah. Brazil last year. And the rumor is maybe a little Ireland for the Eagles next year. How about that? Cheers, Brazil. Welcome, baby. Go Birds, 6-2. Man, I'm gonna head out of here, but we do this thing every week. It's called Meme of the Week. And I'm so thankful because we had shared some when the Eagles got their Super Bowl rings, we had shared a couple videos that were sent in to us. And if you noticed lately, maybe haven't been posting as much, but when we do, it's all us. It's all tailgate content. We do most of our posts on game day. maybe a little bit during the week, clips from our live stream. But yeah, during the ring ceremony, we shared some videos and stuff about the ring and the wings come out. It was like a video that was circulating around, and our Facebook. It wasn't just that one, but that one comes to mind. There was it got flagged because I guess a copyright or something wasn't our video, and our monetization on Facebook went away for like the whole first half of the season. So thank God for our sponsors, Pond Hockey, McDonald's, because they done a lot as far as fueling content collabs we got coming up with other creators, paying videographers. Some of the during the away games, some of the bars we hosted watch parties at Sweetwater yesterday's. Shout out to them because they funded a lot of the content and stuff we did there. And yeah, we were demonetized, which is a shame because I'd say 99% of the stuff we've been doing now for the last year has been all original. We haven't been posting highlights or anything like that. So it was a long-winded way of saying every week we do this. We show our favorite post of the week. It's usually one of our posts that go viral, and we call it Meme of the Week. So let's look at it. Let's see what we got. Consistency is key. I agree, my friend. Meme of the Week.
Meme of the week.
Meme of the week.
Meme of the week.
Make sure you guys can see our page. And this is where we show you our favorite post of the week. Oop. Got to navigate to our page real quick. And for my meme of the week, these guys, this was a submission. If you haven't checked this out already, the guy's drinking out of the leg. That's what you want to see. That's a clear winner. I'm going to say that's probably Vic's winner. These guys are nuts. They sent us this via email. It's definitely, that's probably would have been Vic's pick if he was with us. My meme of the week is going to be me in Miami. This is a series I'm going to keep doing. If you guys don't know who John Summit is, read a book for once. But guy goes to Miami once. He thinks he's John Summit. I'm going to do it everywhere we go. So that's my meme of the week. I'm going to do it everywhere we go. I'm going to do it at Lambeau too. Guy thinks he's guy goes to a rave one time, thinks he's John Summit. I'm gonna keep using that song too. It's not even his song, but it's hilarious. The vocals are like an old classic. So that's it, baby. No picks because we got the bye. We're not doing a show before Green Bay next week. So look out for the Green Bay concert or the Green Bay content, and we will recap it all on the Wednesday after the Green Bay trip since it's Monday Night Football. And have a great couple weeks. Shoot us a message if you're coming to any upcoming games. We'd love to see you there. And go Birds.